Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. So in the practice and performance of devotional service, there are five very important aspects. Like we have our 5 fingers. If even one of the finger is missing, then we cannot, perform properly. So in bhakti, there are 5 aspects which are very important. What are the 5 aspects? It starts from S. 5 S's of bhakti. The first and the foremost is to know the Siddhāṃta, the philosophy. Why we have to practice the path of bhakti. So we need to know the philosophy, the Siddhāṃta. What is the Siddhāṃta? That the living entity is the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And the living entity, Jiva, he can only experience completeness and happiness when he is in relationship with the Lord. And this relationship is invoked by performing practical devotional service. So this Siddhāṃta has to be clear. And with the Siddhāṃta, very important is to have Sadācār. Achar means conduct and behavior. And Sadācār means that conduct and that behavior which can take us to the highest elevation of human life. It can make us invoke our eternal relationship with the Supreme Lord, Sat, Sadācār. Then, very important to be able to have Vaiṣṇava, to how to cultivate Vaiṣṇava Sadācār, how to know the Vaiṣṇava Siddhāṃta, we need to have Sangha, association of devotees. Without the association of devotees, we cannot. And even if we know the Siddhāṃta and the Sadācār, what we have to do? We have to practice. That is sadhana. We have to perform sadhana bhakti. That is the 4th aspect. And even if we perform sadhana bhakti, what is the purpose? To render unconditional loving service, which is seva. So what are the 5 limbs? First is Siddhāṃta. What is the second one, Devashish?
So, Sadācār.
Sadācār. Yes. So Siddhāṃta we have been discussing. We have been discussing Bhagavad Gita. That has been our mainstay. We keep discussing Bhagavad Gita again and again. We will continue to. But also very important is Sadācār. We are having the opportunity of Vaiṣṇava Sangha by mercy of the Yukta Vairagya principle. We can use technology to have devotee association. We are having classes on Zoom. Although many of you are far distance, but still we can connect and have association, learning. That is Sangha. When we are performing sadhana bhakti, why? To invoke the loving sentiment in our heart to perform devotional service, unconditional devotional service. So we will discuss the principles of Vaiṣṇava Sadācār. I remember in my early days when I was introduced in Krishna consciousness, a lot of emphasis and focus was given in Sadācār. Very important that what we do and why we do. There are so many basic aspects which are not very clear to us. So we'll try to discuss to some extent. So there is this manual. This is the manual from where I was taught. Manual of Vaiṣṇava Etiquette and Lifestyle. So Sadācār is Vaiṣṇava Etiquette in English. So we'll begin with the preface. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that the observance of Vaishnava etiquette is an ornament. Like non-devotees, materialists, they have their ornaments made up of gold or silver or diamonds or whatever, but it is all dead, useless. But for a Vaishnava, his etiquette, his alankar, his abhushan is Sadācār, which makes a devotee beautiful and attractive in the eyes of God and in the eyes of devotees, the world. It is therefore very important for all devotees of the Lord to be well versed in the matters of such etiquette and lifestyle. Such information is scattered in different books, and need was felt for a comprehensive manual that would enumerate not only the basic general principles of Vaishnava etiquette and lifestyle, but also that would take into account specific issues and problems that pertain to the condition in our Indian centers. It is very practical, what we day-to-day practice or what we face in our normal course of practice. So this work is an humble attempt. Okay. So I will move forward. So this is the conversation between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Sanatana Goswami. Lord Chaitanya instructed Srila Sanatana Goswami about the behavior of a Vaishnava as follows. Yadyapi tumi ho jagat pavana toma sparshe pavitra hoye deva muni gana tatapi bhakti swabhav maryada rakshana maryada palana hoye sadhura bhushana. Very, very inspirational. So Sanatana Goswami is the epitome. He is the personification of humility. Sanatana Goswami, when he was in Sri Jagannath Puri Dham, he considered himself so low and so abominable, rather he considered himself untouchable. So he would never ever cross from the Simhadwar of the temple of Lord Jagannath. Why? Because he was always afraid that if he comes from the Simhadwar, then the priests, the pujaris, the pandas of Lord Jagannath, they may not get contaminated by seeing him, by touching him, by even touching his shadow. Why he considered himself so low? Because he had served the Muslims. Although he is coming from Saraswat Brahman family. So one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had called him to come and meet him at Yameshwar Tota. When we go to Puri, we will go to Yameshwar Tota also. And in the midday, Mahaprabhu inquired and called for Sanatana Goswami. And Sanatana Goswami came from the other way where there were sand dunes. And when he came, so Mahaprabhu asked him, Sanatan, he was so eager to meet Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that he did not care for the sun which was burning the sand. And he walked barefoot on that sand and reached there. So Mahaprabhu asked him that, Sanatan, which way have you come? And he said that I have come the way of the sand. So Mahaprabhu said, how did you come? You have come on sand, and this midday, summertime, the sand is burning. Your feet will have blisters. And when Mahaprabhu insisted to see his feet, he saw his feet were burned. And then Mahaprabhu said, why did you do so, Sanatan? Why did you not come from the normal route? From the easy route? So Sanatana Goswami said, how could I come? Because even if my shadow falls on the servants of Lord Jagannath, it will contaminate them. So Mahaprabhu is pouring his love and affection to Sanatana Goswami and saying, Yadyapi tumi hoye jagat pavana. My dear Sanatan, although you are the deliverer of the entire universe, you are so pure, Sanatan, that you can deliver the entire universe. And although even the demigods and great saints are purified by touching you, and you are saying they will get contaminated, even anyone touches you, even the demigod touches you, or the great sages touches you, they'll get purified. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives this principle here. He says, Tathapi Bhakta Swabhava. It is the characteristic of a devotee. Swabhava means his nature, his characteristic, his conduct. He says, Tathapi Bhakta Swabhava Maryada Rakshana. So Bhakta means who is following Maryada. Maryada means etiquette. Sadācār. And Rakshana means he is always protecting. How can we protect Maryada? By following it. Maryada Palana hoye sadhura bhushana. It is the characteristic of a devotee to observe and protect the Vaiṣṇava etiquette. Maintenance of the Vaiṣṇava etiquette is the ornament of the devotee. Mahaprabhu was highly pleased. So if we really want to please Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if we want to really please Krishna, if we want to please Lord Jagannath, if we want to please anyone and everyone, what we have to do? We have to do Maryada Rakshana and Maryada Palana. How do we do Rakshana of Maryada? By Palana, by observing it very strictly in our own lifestyle. Maryada laghane loka kare upahas, iha loka par loke dui hoye nas. Then Mahaprabhu in the next verse, he says very strong words. He says if one transgresses the law of etiquette, that means if one breaches, one fails to follow the Maryada or etiquette, people make fun of him. That is Lok Vyavhar. And thus he is vanquished in both this world and the next. Ihaloka, paraloka, dui hoye nash. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's very specific and clear instruction. Also, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave 5 important instructions to the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Based on these instructions, the need was felt to write down certain rules and regulations to meet the demands of ever-increasing preaching mission of International Society of Krishna Consciousness. What are the instructions to the 6 Goswamis? First, to scrutinizingly study all revealed scriptures and extract the essence form. All the essence is bhakti. So they first studied the scriptures, and from the scriptures they presented very authoritative evidences that how bhakti is the topmost and is the essence of all scriptures. Then second was to excavate the holy places of Krishna Leela in Vrindavan, to make Vrindavan Dham a place that people from all around the world will come to take shelter and be inspired by. It is still happening. I met few people today. I met them for the first time. They are residents of Vrindavan, and they were sharing with me that how much Vrindavan is crowded by visitors from outside every day. Every day it seems like a festival. So this is all because of the Goswamis. To build beautiful temples and install wonderful deities and teach the world proper method of deity worship. Very important, 4th aspect. This is what we are discussing. By their personal examples to show the conduct of a Vaiṣṇava and proper etiquette among Vaishnavas. Lord Chaitanya considered this to be the most important principle. Not only must we be philosophically strong, but we must understand how to have proper etiquette amongst each other. To our superiors, to our juniors, to the Supreme Lord, and to the conditioned soul. How many? How many? 4. First, with our superiors. How we should behave or conduct or deal with our superiors. Second, to our juniors. Third is also to the equals or peers. Also to the Supreme Lord and those who are non-devotees. He told them to establish Vaiṣṇava etiquette through their writings as well as through their behavior. And by their own personal conduct to show what are the duties of one in the renounced order of life. Normally we hear four principles given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami. But here it has been elaborated that by their own behavior and conduct, that is more important. It is said a picture speaks more than 1,000 words. What is that picture? That is the personification of a person, or how he deals or how he conducts himself. A devotee's lifestyle should conform to the principles simple living and high thinking. It's very important. Materialist means they are wanting to live very luxuriously or opulent living. And what is their thinking? Their thinking is most abominable. What are they thinking? They are this body, and the body is the means of enjoyment. There are many rules and regulations guiding a devotee's life, but the purpose of all is to help us always smartavyam satatam Vishnu. Always remember Krishna. Never forget him. Vismrityam na jatutisht. And never forget him. So this is the essence. This is the pivot, or this is the most important aspect of all the following all rules and regulations of sadhana bhakti. is to always be able to remember Krishna and never forget him. So the first part says that etiquette within the temple. So most of you come to the temple and you come for darshan, you come for sadhu-sang, you come for Krishna Katha, you come to hear Kirtan. So what should be the conduct? What should be the behavior? How we should interact? So the first aspect, Krishna says, one who is in knowledge, amanitvam. In 13th chapter we discussed. So being humble. What it means to be humble. In the old days, kings would travel in palanquins. One regulative principle is that one should never enter a temple in a palanquin or a car or with shoes on. The point is, as soon as we enter the temple, we should know who the Supreme is. And how we should be considering ourselves humble by accepting that we are subordinate. We are servants. Servant means he does not have any special right. So never ever enter the temple area or at least the altar area with shoes on. The idea is that one should give up one's kingly mentality, the mentality of being the Lord and Master. Unless we should travel on foot. Far as possible, I know many even non-devotees. I have one person who comes and does service with me for flowers. So many years he is coming. Although he is not a practicing devotee, he is a pious man. But I have never seen him come from his car. He comes with a car, he has cars. He leaves his footwear in the car. And he enters the temple barefoot. Why? To show respect. How do we show respect? Not just by bowing down. But what is the mentality? What is the mindset? That speaks about the consciousness of the person. So what is he thinking of himself? How to think of ourselves as low, not to exhibit any royalty or any luxury or opulence. And one meek way is to enter without footwear. Rather, when we are entering the temple, we should wash our feet. We should wash our hands, our feet, and our mouth. Because we are entering the Dham of the Supreme Lord, the most sanctified place. There is one aspect of humility. The idea is that one should give up one's kingly mentality, the mentality of being the Lord and Master, whatever be one's qualification, abilities, and social position. Amongst the devotees, particularly in temple, one's only designation is the servant of the servant. So I shared with you that few years back, our present Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, he came to our temple to inaugurate that biggest Bhagavad Gita. But his security people were not willing to follow the Vaiṣṇava etiquette. So we did not compromise. We did not compromise. We told them that the sanctity of the altar cannot be compromised, whether he comes or he does not come. He did not come there. He came to the auditorium, inaugurated the Bhagavad Gita, and he left. But we did not compromise on this sanctity. We did not allow any sniffer dog inside. We did not allow any security person inside with guns and with their paraphernalia. No, nothing is allowed. Even to the highest person, the highest post, the most powerful person in the entire country. So never ever compromise, whoever he may be. Of course, you are not getting to get Prime Minister in your house or in your temple. That would be rare. But even if he comes, why? Never compromise that we are serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And never ever try to show any, position or post or imposition by any means or by any standards. So this is one aspect of humility, that we come barefoot. But be practical. If it is winter, you can wear your socks. In our temple, when you come, we have shoe stand. That is also proper etiquette. You should always come and leave your shoes in the shoe stand. You can bring your shoes till the shoe stand. Then very important when you enter the temple is offering obeisances, offering pranams. So once few months back, we were having this discussion. So what is the right sequence? Whom should we offer obeisances first? And in what way should we offer our obeisances? Upon entering the temple, one should first offer obeisances, Panchang Pranam to the assembled Vaishnavas and utter the prayer. Most important. Whom do we see? As soon as we enter the temple, whom do we see? We see the devotees. We see the Vaishnavas. So there has to be this Vaishnava Pranam. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. If you see any superior senior devotee, as soon as you get this sight, you should offer up to them. Whether he sees you or not, that is immaterial. Paramatma is definitely seeing us. He is within our heart. He knows whether we are being humble or we are still infatuated with pride. A person who has pride is very difficult for him to offer obeisances. And to be able to offer repeated obeisances, very difficult. So how to cultivate humility? One very simple way is to offer obeisances. As many times as we get the opportunity. So many times we have discussed Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. He is so exemplary. He was the only son of the princely state. How many times would he offer obeisances to the Vaishnavas in a day? Anyone knows? Only one person. Only two Matajis know. Okay. Others are waiting. 4. What about the rest? Yes, Ganesh Prabhu.
For Vaishnava devotees,
Keep it simple, bhai. Remove all the sound bites and all. I never use, I'd never use anything. Nothing, I just straight speak.
this project 2000 times to Vaishnava devotees.
2000 times. Just imagine, if we have to offer our obeisances 2000 times, every hour, how many times, Manish Prabhu? Manoram Jagannath Prabhu. We have 24 hours. Almost 80 times in an hour. That is every minute, more than a minute, less than a minute. How would it be possible? But that is genuine humility. He was offering 1000 obeisances to the deities every day and 2000 obeisances to devotees. Please remember the principle. Twice at least the times of our obeisances to the deities. In our temple you come, you have how many times? You will offer to Garudji deities, you will offer to Jai Vijay deities. Then when you come in, you offer to Srila Prabhupada. Then now Narsimdev will come, you will offer to Narsimdev. Then you will offer to Tirupati Balaji. then to Gaur Nitai, then to Shri Radha Parsarthi Lalita Visakha, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. At least twice should be offered to Vaishnava devotees. At least we should do 10 and 20. Shri Raghunath Das Goswami was doing 1,000 and 2,000. If we can do even 1%, 10 and 20. So as we have been initiated, we try to practice humility. How to practice humility is simple way of offering obeisances. And what is the benefit of offering obeisances? Is our purification. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, one of the reasons for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taking sannyas, when his Brahmin schoolmates were making fun of him, when he was saying Gopi Gopi, and the other agnostic and the atheist. So Mahaprabhu said, because these are not taking me seriously, if I take sannyas, and after taking sannyas, just by mere offering obeisances, by offering pranams, they will spiritually elevate, they will advance. One of the reasons for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taking sannyas, one was this consideration, that if we take sannyas and people will offer obeisances, and when they offer obeisances, they will advance. One definite way of advancement is genuine, not like this. गिन करके मैंने 10 बार प्रणाम कर लिया है, अब now मेरा purification 10 times हो गया, ऐसा नहीं. Not this kind of mentality, fruitive. But genuinely, every time we offer obeisances, we advance. Other devotee will always say, no, no need. But it is up to us. If we want to genuinely cultivate humility and please the Lord, and definitely we please the devotees. We should never ever fail for an opportunity where there is one to offer obeisances. And it begins with the Vaiṣṇava devotees. First, we should offer. So as soon as you enter the temple, before you go in front of the deities, as soon as you ring the bell, before you ring the bell, first we should offer obeisances to Garudji. Garudji is there. So we must offer. Garudji is the carrier. He is the Vishnu Vahan of the Supreme Lord. Why is he there? Because without his permission, we cannot enter the abode of the Supreme Lord. So we should take permission from him. We should offer obeisances to him. And if possible, if we are not very late for, even if we are late, we should do one circumambulation, one pradakshina. You have seen in our temple, there is pradakshina of Garudji. Many new people come, they chant around Garudji. So we should offer our obeisances, offer pradakshina. After offering pradakshina, again we should offer our obeisances and seek his permission. And when, before entering, just at the entry gate, there is Jai and Vijay. We must offer our obeisances to Jai Vijay. They are the doorkeepers. We should seek their permission. We should offer their obeisances. So these are in the deity form. They are not in the, movable form. But then you ring the bell, and as soon as you ring the bell, you just enter the temple. Before you go to Srila Prabhupada, you would have observed most of the devotees, they offer obeisances there. At least Panchang Pranam. And what is that Panchang Pranam? Because before we see the Lord, we see the devotees. So we should offer our Panchang Pranam to the assembled Vaishnavas and utter their prayer. How it is Panchanga? Anga means the limbs and Pancha means the 5. So what are the Panch Angas? It is when we offer, we are lowering our forehead. We are bowing our forehead on the floor. And also our knees, Ghutne, Matha, Ghutna, and we fold our hands. And through the speech, what we are uttering, we are reciting the pranams to them. And through the mind, we are meditating on the lotus feet. So, Panch Anga. Otherwise, it is not Panch Anga Pranam. So, all should be engaged. Sometimes what we see, people, even devotees, that is not proper Panchang. The forehead should touch the floor. That is the sign of bowing down. Hand should be stretched in folding position, offering prayers, offering our obeisances. The knees, both the knees should be touching the floor. And we should be fully and properly uttering the full pranam mantra. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaiṣṇavebhyo namo namah. So, two aspects: we are considering ourselves patit, fallen, and we are considering them very powerful, that just by their sight and by their glance, they can purify from our fallen position. Patitanam pavanebhyo. That should be our meditation. That means we are offering such respect, such high position to them. To the extent we do that, not mechanically, but heartily, you will see the difference. You will see the difference, and then you will be able to see the reciprocation of the deities. Okay, so this is the first and the foremost. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just like desire trees who can fulfill the desire of everyone. They are full of compassion for the fallen condition. So then one should offer obeisances full downwards to Srila Prabhupada, keeping him on our left, and chant his pranam mantra. But those who are initiated, before they chant the pranam mantra of Prabhupada, even if they come in front of the deity of Srila Prabhupada, we have to first chant the pranam mantra of our spiritual master. Because our connection with Srila Prabhupada is through the medium of our spiritual master. So we should chant the mantra of our spiritual master. And then we should chant the pranam mantra of Srila Prabhupada. One should then move towards the deities. Then you have to go in sequence. So where we are beginning from our left. You will see Prabhupada's altar is on the left, and then in sequence. One should then move towards the deities and offer full prostrated. But Prabhupada, it is not Panchang Pranam. For Prabhupada, full downwards. It is called the Ashtanga. This is Panchanga. Can you see the picture? Is the picture clear? You see, both the knees are down. Both the feet are down. The head is down. Both the hands are down. And then the prayer is there, and meditation is also there. So this is proper Panchanga. If any limb is missing, it is not even Panchang Pranam. Then we have not. Then that means we have failed to offer our obeisances. Then what we have become? We have become a Vaiṣṇava Aparadhi. Very subtle. And one of the reasons, we will not feel any inspiration to come to the temple. Even if we come in front of the deities, we will not be able to pray to the deities, to be able to connect to the deities. They will seem to us as if they are there and we are here. There is no connection. There is no link. This is very important. The first is to offer obeisances to the devotees. And if you have sannyasis, and your spiritual master, then you should offer full obeisances, at least the men. Matajis are never recommended to offer Ashtanga Pranam. They never offer Ashtanga Pranam. They offer only Panchang Pranams. Even to the devotees, deities, sannyasis, everyone. But those who are in men body, if they see a sannyasi, as I said, one of the reasons for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taking sannyas was to give this opportunity to even the non-devotees who would offer him pranams, they would spiritually advance. So when we see the sannyasi, we should do Ashtanga Pranam immediately. And also our spiritual master. For some spiritual master could be in Grihastha also. But that does not lower his position. Kiba Vipra, Kiba Nyasi, Shudra Kena Noe. Jai Krishna Tattvaveta, say Guru Hoy. It does not matter whether he is in this order of sannyas or he is in Grihastha. One who is a Tattvaveta, one who knows the science of Krishna. So very important. We should, and if we fail to do that, definitely we will fall. I'll give you one pastime of Srila Prabhupada. It happened in Juhu. The Prabhupada came from his morning walk. And as Prabhupada came from the morning walk, as soon as the devotees had first sight of Srila Prabhupada, you will see the videos. It is so inspiring how they fell. They fall just like rods, just like danda. Immediately, first sight they see, they fall full flat to offer obeisances. There was one brahmachari devotee. He did not. And when Prabhupada passed, Prabhupada told his servant, his fall down has happened. So never ever take it lightly or cheaply. But don't think, क्या है? कल तो किया था. अरे सुबह तो देखा था. कितनी बार प्रणाम करें? Just remember Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. For 2000 times, he was not meeting 2000 people to do pranam 2000 times. Shutakriti Prabhu writes in his book, what is the difficulty? He was personal servant of Srila Prabhupada. Every time he entered the room of Srila Prabhupada, he would offer obeisances. He would enter hundreds of times in a day. And when he would go out from the room, do some service, come back, whenever he came back into the room, saw Prabhupada, he offered dandavats. One time Prabhupada said, okay, it is okay. But he never stopped himself. And Prabhupada was so pleased with him. So very important is we should never ever fail from offering our obeisances. That means we are infatuated with false pride, ego. Ego will not allow to offer obeisances. Those who are more influenced by ego, very difficult to bow down. So then dandavats have to be offered. So in dandavats, what we are doing? We are offering our vakshasthala, the portion from neck till the waist, till the abdomen. All the angas, 8 angas, from 8 angas we are offering obeisances. I'll come to that. I'll specify that. Then for further deities, and keeping the deities on our left like we do, we should offer respective pranam mantras. And we should know the pranam mantras of each deities. What is the pranam mantra of Shri Nitai Gaur Sundar? Yeah? Only 2-3 people know. They don't know the pranam mantra of Gaur Nitai. मानिनी माता जी, गौर निताई अभी हम सब जगह गौर निताई क्या प्रणाम मंत्र है?
याद नहीं आ रहा प्रभु जी, पंचतत्व मंत्र याद।
पंचतत्व मंत्र कैसे भूल सकते हैं? दिन में हम हर राउंड के पास चैंट करते हैं।
नहीं पंचतत्व याद है प्रभु जी और
पंच
नहीं
तत्व।
पड़ेगा।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
चैतन्य
प्रभु
प्रभु
नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त।
नित्यानंद।
Then you can have many other mantras. You can have Namo Mahabodhanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanyaya Namane Gautvesh Nama Panchatattvam Atmakam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakshaktikam Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Suhodito Gaududoy Pushpavanto Chitro Samudo Namo Dunya. So then, as many as you have in your bhajan kutir, you have done bhajan for God and Nitai, you can recite. It hardly takes 1 minute. But it makes the connection get established with the deities, the pranams. Otherwise, we see other people coming, they cannot stand for 1 minute, 2 minutes in front of the deity. But what they will see in the deities? They will see dress bahut acha hai, or plus nothing else to see. They cannot see the Lord there because they don't have the connecting interface. What is the connecting interface? Our prayers, our pranams. Pradeep Prabhu, why you are in invisible mode? In Korea, you don't get connectivity. When you are in China, you are always visible. One more way. This invisibility have to be removed. If you are I don't think you are at work, it will be night there. One more aspect, very important. It may be noted that one should not offer obeisances on one hand. One hand holding bead bag, and one hand offering pranam. No, it is an offense. It may be noted that one should not offer obeisances on one hand. Both hands should support the body while bowing down, and both hands should be outstretched. And what should be the mood? Meditation while taking darshans of the Lord. After offering obeisances on the deities, one should take darshan with great devotion and beg for their mercy. One should not, however, immediately look upon the deities full in the face. The proper manner in which one should take darshan of the Lord is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 2nd chapter, 13th verse. It is obvious, it is by default setting that we will look at the face. But even if the eyes go to the face, what we have to do, we have to bring our vision at the feet of the Lord. That is the proper way of taking darshan. The process of meditation should begin from the lotus feet of the Lord and progress to his smiling face. The meditation should be concentrated upon the lotus feet, then the calves. Calves means which is just a little higher portion than the feet. It is the calf, AD. Then the thighs, and in this way higher and higher. And move the more the mind becomes fixed on different parts of the limbs, one after another, the more the intelligence becomes purified. See what a deep purpose is there. That if we go in this recommended way, our intelligence will get purified by taking darshan. Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport that such meditation will help us get detached from sense gratification. So we should spend time while taking darshan. It should not be crash. बस आए, नीचे पड़े, खड़े हुए, आगे चले गए, फिर पड़े, आगे चले गए, हो गया दर्शन. Not like that. Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport that such meditation will help us get detached from sense gratification. The mood of the devotee taking darshan is, Sir, I am your eternal servant. Please let me know how can I serve you. The functions of the big deities in the temple are for giving darshan and usually are the Ishtadev of our Sampradaya. So Radha Partharthi is our Ishtadev. So it is quite natural and respectful to see them first. Never mind, we will go in the sequence. We will first comes, as of now, we first offer obeisances to Tirupati Balaji, that darshan is there through the picture, and then we have first Gaur-Nitai. The most important is to have this mentality that, sir, I am your eternal servant. Please let me know how can I serve you. This is the mood of Sripad Madhavendra Puri. Kim karomi? How can I serve you? I Deen Dayar Daridra Nath Hai. Kada Avalokayan. Kim karomi? Please guide me, please inspire me. How should I serve you? How can I dedicate my life in serving you? So if we pray in this way, what is the benefit? Two benefits. One is our desire for sense gratification diminishes. We become detached from sense gratification and our intelligence gets purified. I remember in one of the purports of teachings of Queen Kunti, Srila Prabhupada says, that is the verse. Tatha paramhamsanam munina mamalatmanam bhakti yoga vidanartham katham pashem hi striya. So she is offering her heartfelt prayer to Krishna and she is saying, Tatha paramhamsanam. So you have advented for the paramhansas, those who are so advanced, and those who are muninam amalatmanam, who are purified sages. And you have come to give them the process of bhakti yoga vidhanartham. But what about us, my dear Lord? We are ordinary weak women. Katham pashe hi striya. But how can we reach you? We are neither paramhamsas, neither we are muninam, neither we are amalatmana. So how can we reach you? And Srila Prabhupada in that extraordinary purport, Srila Prabhupada says that women, just by offering obeisances to the deities in the temple, they advance as much as the sage who is meditating in the Himalayas. So honest and sincere obeisances is so purifying and so uplifting and so pleasing to the Lord. So never ever we should fail. Even coming to the temple, we should go twice for darshan. Once, as soon as we come, forget anything and everything, unless and until you have been called or you have been told that first come to me by your spiritual authority. Otherwise, first thing we should go and take darshan of the Lord. And when we are leaving, before leaving also, because we are not coming every day. Are we coming every day? Even if we are coming every day, we go at least 2-3 times in a temple and take obeisances. But those who are coming from outside, they should have that urge, that desire, that inspiration to take darshans again and again, to offer obeisances again and again. See what a powerful way of getting free, getting detached from sense gratification and purifying our intelligence. Once Gauranga Prabhu was saying that as soon as we come in front of the deities, whether we see the deities or not, with our charm chakshu, how can we see the deity? It requires premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena, santa sadev hrideshu vilokaya. But we don't have that premanjana. We have the kamanjana. There is calm in our eyes, in our heart. So how can we see the Lord? But definitely when we take darshan, the Lord takes darshan of his devotees. He never fails. You have seen that? Prabhupada writes, he never fails in his affection for his devotees. And as soon as he takes notice of, yes, this devotee has come to take darshan, the Lord infuses in his heart spiritual desires. So in our heart, we don't have any genuine spiritual desire. But one way to cultivate spiritual desire. The electricity has gone here, but don't worry. I think you are able to hear me.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so please hear. The connection is through sound. And the liberation is also through sound. Anavrati Shabdat. So very, very powerful way is offering obeisances. I know few of my brahmachari devotees. They are very few. Kali Yuga will progress. This genuine humility and keenness to offer obeisances is not going to be easy. Why? Because the Kaliya inside will not allow us to do that. We have a Kaliya inside, you know. Maybe some of you may not have a false ego. But if we don't have false ego, then we will be in the spiritual world. Then we won't be here. But we should never ever fail in offering obeisances. As many times. As many times. Even if we are, unless and until we are physically stopped. And someone superior says, "Arey, bas karo yaar." Mahaprabhu tells Sanatana Goswami that by your humility, you are breaking my heart. With such genuine humility, seeing like today's verse also. Mahaprabhu is appreciating for Maryada Rakshan and Paryada Palan, it is Sadhura Abhushan. But in our case, we are nowhere. We are just the beginners. We've just been initiated. Some are still to be initiated. Most are still to be initiated. Very genuine ways, as many times we see the spiritual master immediately fall down. Immediately fall down. Whatever may be the surroundings, it may be dirt, it may be, keychain, whatever it may be. I can never ever forget the impression that I have in my heart. Once my teacher, who was with me in the same temple, his teacher came from Vrindavan. So I told my senior, my Prabhuji, that Prabhuji has come from Vrindavan. So he asked me, where is he? So I told him, he's there. So he ran. He ran to have his audience. And as soon as he first saw his sight, it was quite distant. Immediately he fell down. He could not notice because he was far distant and there were thousands of devotees in between. But the way he fell down, the kind of respect and honor he had in his heart, that really inspired me, that touched me. And I was thinking, Kabe habe bolo seidin avar. When will that day come when I will have such genuine honor and respect for my seniors? Very important. Never ever fail. The function of the big deities in the temple are for giving darshan, and usually they are the Ishtadev of the Sampradaya, so it is quite natural and respectful to see them first. There are also other considerations, as if there are 3 altars like Krishna Balaram Mandir in Vrindavan or Shri Shri Radha Ras Bihari Mandir at Juhu, Srila Prabhupada would pay obeisances first to Gaurnitai altar like we do in our temple. Then go to Krishna Balaram altar and then to Radha Shyam. So keeping to the left, we proceed. Yeah. So when you will come to our temple on Narsim Chaturdashi, so you will first have Prabhupada darshan and then you will have Narsim Dev darshan. And then you go to Tirupati Balaji and then further to Gaurnitai, then to Radha Parsarthi and then to Sitaram Lakshmana Hanuman. Also, the devotee may like to see his Guru first. But his Guru's picture may not be present, then take darshan in the ascending order to Krishna. While taking darshan, may stand at the sides so that darshan is not obstructed from the devotees who are sitting. A very important aspect. Don't think that you are the only one to take darshan in the temple hall. We should be very conscious of not to obstruct other devotees who are taking darshan or other devotees who are seated in the temple hall. Very quietly, efficiently, and intelligently. 3 aspects. Don't make a show so that everyone sees that, oh, मैं प्रणाम कर रहा हूं, सबको दिखना चाहिए. Not to make a farce like that. Very quietly, intelligently, so that no one else is disturbed. Very important. The darshan should begin as we face the deities from the left hand corner and moves progressively. Deity by deity to the right hand corner. Yes, from the left to the right. In Radha Gopinath Mandir, this would mean beginning the darshan from Guru Parampara, then Lord Nityananda, and ending with Sri Gopalji. Now in the temple, how to sit? First is taking obeisances, and after that, there are several regulations regarding one's sitting posture in the temple. So I'll stop here. I will not continue more. One aspect we have discussed today of how to enter the temple. What should be our mindset? What should be our consciousness? What is the most important aspect of entering the temple room? Yeah, I am asking you, all of you. I am surprised, so many times I have requested that please do not switch off your videos. So many videos are off. Why I am wasting my time then? Pranav, why you have switched off your video? You are on the platform.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Achha. Never mind. We want to have your darshan. Don't deny us of your darshan. Yes, what is the most important aspect of entering the temple? What is the Vaiṣṇava Sadācār in entering the temple? Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji. First, we should offer a paying our obeisance to Guru Dev Ji.
No, that is, I am not asking the sequence. I am asking the consciousness.
To have the darshan of Supreme Lord.
Not precise. Pradeep Prabhu?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mm,
It was there, that is
We
why.
should offer obeisances and pranam mantra to every deity.
That is true. That is all details. But what is the foremost principle? If we miss that, then this will be a mere physical drill or an exercise. Nothing more than that. And eventually we end up doing that only. देवदत्ता, आप बताइए.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
We should have the consciousness that we are the eternal servant of the Lord.
Yes.
We should think how we can serve Him.
Yes. Humility. Humility is the principle. Thank you. Considering ourselves a servant. Then only we will offer pranam. Otherwise, why we will offer pranam? A master will think others will have to offer pranam. See, Daksha, when he entered the arena, Shivji did not stand up and offer him obeisance pranam. He became so wild. He started blaspheming him, criticizing him. अरे मेरे आने पे खड़ा नहीं हुआ, तो झुकेगा कहाँ? So we have to cultivate this. Vaishnava Sadācār has to be cultivated. Cultivated समझते हैं? खेती करना पड़ेगा. बीज तो मिल गया, गुरुदेव ने दीक्षा दे दिया, लेकिन उसके बाद उसका क्या करना पड़ेगा? सिंचन करना पड़ेगा, उसमें रोपण करना पड़ेगा, करना होगा. It will come by following. Okay, so thank you very much. If there are any questions, clarifications, please ask. बोलिए सोनिका जी.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, Ashtang Pranam and Dandat Pranam are same.
Yeah, Dandvat. See, Danda means rod. Yeah. So if we fall flat on the floor, that is Dandvat. And Ashtang is also, yeah, almost. And Ashtang also is the same. The mudra is the same. The meditation is also the same. But it is not for devotees in Mataji bodies. It cannot be imitated because they become mothers. Have you ever seen any Mataji offering Dandvat Pranam in ISKCON?
No, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so please remember that. Mentally you can. You can offer every limb, you can offer our entire body to the Lord for service. But the posture should not be any other than Panchang Pranam. Because this Bhaksha Sthala, mothers, they have milk in the breast. So it does not touch the floor. But don't worry, I gave you that reference. You find out that reference from prayers of Queen Kunti. Prabhupada is saying, a simple-hearted woman who offer obeisances in the temple in front of the deities, they advance as much as the yogis going in Himalayas and meditating. You don't have to do all that austerity. No need. Just simple offer pranams. With the right consciousness, with the right frame of mind, with the humble attitude, with the prayerful attitude. So we have to prepare. We have to prepare. We have to become conscious. That when I go in front of the deities, what will I pray? Prepare. Practice. Write your prayer. Very good way of preparation is writing the prayer. Write and recite. How much Lord will be pleased? Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, as you told that we should not keep a chanting bag in one hand. So while offering pranam, where to keep our chanting bag? Because
Both
if it,
hands. Both hands. We
Okay.
outstretch our both hands and keep the chanting bag within the both hands.
okay.
Don't pull it back. Best is if you have some bag you are carrying, keep your chanting bag in the bag. But if you are holding it in your hand, still you can offer pranams. I'll show you. This is there. You offer with the both hands. It will go down. And it will not touch the floor. Yeah. We should learn from observing others. When you will come and observe in the temple hall, you will see very few are doing the right way. Most of them have invented their own ways, which is not the proper way. And we should not be amongst them. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji, that's why I asked you.
Yeah. Okay.
Prabhuji, one
Yeah.
more quick question, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, as you told that whenever we see our spiritual master in the temple or in the temple campus, we have to just immediately lie down. So if we
Yeah,
are
we
doing
should
chanting,
offer our obeisances. Yes.
yes, Prabhuji, and you also told that if we are chanting, we should if means during that time, if we are chanting, so we should leave our chanting and just bow down.
I'll leave our chanting. You are chanting and you can bow down. You can put your both hands together and keep the feedback. As soon as you see the spiritual master, one has to bow down.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay. Next question. देवाशीष आपका हाथ ऊपर था, बोलिए जल्दी बोलिए.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. प्रभु जी, जिस टाइम पे स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर कुछ सर्विस में एंगेज हुए हैं, उस टाइम में भी हम उनको ओबेसेंस कर सकते हैं.
क्या मतलब? क्लियर नहीं है जो आप पूछ रहे हैं.
जैसे वो आरती करते हैं, कर रहे हैं, उस टाइम पे हम पहले उनको मतलब प्रणाम करेंगे, उसके बाद डेटी को प्रणाम करेंगे.
आरती वो कर रहे हैं, आप थोड़ी कर रहे हैं. आप तो प्रणाम करिए ना, आपको क्या तकलीफ है?
यस प्रभु.
अगर आप आरती कर रहे हैं और स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर आ गए तो भी आप अपनी चेतना से उनको प्रणाम कर सकते हैं. करते हैं. आप क्लास दे रहे हैं, गुरुदेव आ गए तो क्या करते हैं? आप विवासासन पे खड़े होकर प्रणाम थोड़ी करते हैं, लेकिन आप अपने हृदय से प्रणाम करते हैं. कहने का अभिप्राय यह है कि जब भी अवसर मिले, दर्शन मिले, तो हमें क्या करना चाहिए? तुरंत उनके आगे नतमस्तक होना चाहिए. यस, दयाशील प्रभु.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, whenever we get, little time, not much time to offer obeisance to all the deities, and all. In that case, what should?
Why we get little time? Don't we have 24 hours in a day? Then I'm not clear about what you mean that we have little time.
So suppose we have to meet Prabhuji. So
You have to.
less time we have for darshan. Then in that case,
Why we have left time? Because we are coming late. That means we don't deserve darshan. If we have appointment with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that what means? What kind of mentality we are having? We are more important than you. Is it not? Being late means we are not giving importance. We have to prepare. See, most important is preparation. Consciousness means preparation, cultivation. Sometimes it has happened. Some people, those who do not have the intention to take darshan, they come. 1 बज गया, आपने कहा था 1 बजे मंदिर होगा बंद. Sometimes people come to meet me, so I tell them that please come in such a time before 1 or come after 4 so that you can have darshans. Materialistic people, those who are non-devotees, they are least bothered about darshan. They will come at 1 or 5 minutes or 10 minutes past 1. And when I will ask them, आपने दर्शन किया? आपने कहा 1 बजे मंदिर बंद हो जाएगा. मैंने कहा आप ऊपर गए थे? नहीं. So sometimes I take them कि चलिए, they get darshan. Why there is less time? We should have this feeling in our heart that we should get proper darshan. That impression should come in our heart of the Lord. Even if you are late, somehow there was traffic jam or something which was beyond your control, then come in the center, take you have to follow the etiquette. You have to be fast, you have to be swift. You offer pranams to the Vaishnavas, then to first Prabhupada, but you cannot compromise on that. The spiritual master and if you are seeing that all altars are closing, then just bow down and offer pranams to all the deities. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu, and then offer pranam to Raja Ram, and get up in time so that you can have darshan. Every day we do that. At 8 o'clock, when the darshan is closing in the morning, we run from one altar to another altar, jumping like kids when it is closing. First Gaur-Nitai is closing. Until the time Gaur-Nitai closes, we jump to Radha Parsarthi, take their darshan, and then jump to Ram Darbar. We should have keenness, we should have desire to have darshans. And believe me, if you have preparations, if you have come with this desire to take darshan, many times the timings of the temple does not restrict you. You can have darshans. You can have darshans. But come with this preparation, come with this consciousness that why you are taking darshan? To seek opportunity to serve. When we will pray, if we are taking, what is it called? Crash darshan. Crash. That should not be the practice of a devotee. Okay. So thank you very much. Oh my God. It is beyond 9. Very important, very, very important. I think I will discuss this aspect now before I discuss anything else. Because this has been neglected, I would say. And the fault is on me, not on anyone else. This is a very important aspect we did not discuss so far. You will see your entire experience will be different. Taking darshans of their lordships. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Vaiṣṇava Sadācār ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Upasthit Sabhi Bhakta ki jai. Okay, if I get opportunity tomorrow, because tomorrow is Adivas, tomorrow is Shobha Yatra, but all of you are invited to come in Mangala Aarti of 29th. That is Saturday, Sita Navami. In our temple we have Sita Devi. That is the deity of Srimati Sita Devi. So we try to observe it as we observe in Ram Navami. And there will be very fragrant flower decoration. It happens only on Sita Navami. So please come and feel the fragrance of Sita Devi's sacrifice for Lord Ram. Hare Krishna.